What if the person offering to help you is the one you should fear the most? As a woman, imagine waking up in a strange hotel room, 50 miles from home, next to a man you've never met before. How would you feel? What would your reality be at that moment? In London, this nightmare became the reality of a woman when she accepted what seemed like a kind offer to save money on a taxi ride. This same decision is what many of us have once considered at one point in our lives, accepting a cheaper ride home. Welcome to True Crime Stories 24/7. You're tuned in to another episode of Crime Reality with Davis, where we explore stories of real crime cases happening around us, hoping that when you listen to these stories, you can pick lessons that will be helpful to you. Before we jump into today's story, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I'd really appreciate your support. Now that's done, let's get into it. Our story takes us to two distinct locations in England: the bustling streets of Camden, London, where our story begins, and the historic town of Gravesend, Kent, where the horrific crime would ultimately unfold. Gravesend, situated on the south bank of the River Thames, is typically known for its rich maritime history and diverse community. But on September 3rd, 2023, it would become the setting for a disturbing crime that would shock both locals and law enforcement alike. The town of Gravesend, with its mix of historic architecture and modern developments, represents the kind of place where people typically feel safe. Its town center, bustling with daily life and overlooked by the ancient St. George's Church, gives no indication of the dark events that would unfold in one of its hotel rooms. While Kent has generally maintained relatively stable crime rates, sexual offenses have been a growing concern for local law enforcement, leading to increased surveillance and community safety initiatives. The victim in this case, a young woman in her 20s, was like many others her age, sociable, trusting, and simply trying to enjoy a night out with friends. She was at an event in Camden, a vibrant area of London known for its nightlife and social scene. Little did she know that her decision to accept what seemed like a helpful offer would lead to a traumatic ordeal that would change her life forever. What makes this case particularly disturbing is how ordinary the circumstances were that led to the crime. Many of us have been in similar situations, at the end of a night out, weighing our options for getting home safely. The victim thought she was making a responsible choice by accepting a ride from someone she believed she had met at a previous social gathering. The perpetrator, a young man of 23, wasn't just any opportunistic criminal. He was already under a sexual risk order, imposed in May 2022, due to previous allegations of sexual offenses. This legal restriction was meant to protect potential victims, but he found ways to circumvent it, demonstrating a pattern of predatory behavior that would ultimately culminate in this horrific assault. The events of September 3rd, 2023, began innocently enough. The victim was enjoying herself at an event in Camden, surrounded by friends and familiar faces. When the night drew to a close, the perpetrator approached her with what seemed like a reasonable offer: a ride home for £20 towards petrol. It appeared to be a simple solution to the common problem of getting home safely after a night out. But he had other plans. What the victim didn't know was that he had already booked a hotel room in Gravesend, miles away from both Camden and her intended destination. This premeditation would later become a crucial element in the prosecution's case, showing that this wasn't a crime of opportunity but a calculated attack. During the journey, the victim, who was already vulnerable due to intoxication, lost consciousness. Instead of fulfilling his promise to take her home, the perpetrator drove to the pre-booked hotel in Gravesend. CCTV footage would later show him carrying her unconscious form into the hotel, damning evidence of her complete inability to consent to what would follow. The details of what happened in that hotel room are disturbing. The victim awoke confused, in pain, and lying next to her attacker in an unfamiliar place. The trauma of realizing what had happened to her while she was unconscious would have lasting psychological impacts. The victim's courage in coming forward quickly after the assault was crucial to the investigation. On September 7th, just days after the attack, she reported the crime to the police. Law enforcement's response was swift and thorough, understanding the gravity of the situation and the potential danger the perpetrator posed to other women. The investigation quickly uncovered compelling evidence. CCTV footage from both Camden and the hotel painted a clear picture of the events. The footage showed the victim's obvious state of incapacitation, with the perpetrator having to carry her into the hotel, clear evidence of her inability to consent. Hotel records confirmed that he had pre-booked the room, a crucial piece of evidence showing premeditation. Based on the substantial evidence gathered, police arrested the perpetrator on September 7, 2023. The case was brought before Maidstone Crown Court, where he faced charges of rape and breaching his sexual risk order. The prosecution presented a strong case, supported by the CCTV footage, hotel records, and the victim's testimony. On December 5, 2024, justice was served. The perpetrator was sentenced to 10 years and 6 months in prison for rape, with an additional 5 years of supervision following his release. This sentence reflected both the severity of his crime and his previous history of concerning behavior toward women. This case has had significant implications for the Kent community and beyond. It highlights the crucial importance of several safety measures and considerations. First, the effectiveness of sexual risk orders and their enforcement needs to be examined. The perpetrator was able to commit this crime despite being under such an order, raising questions about how these protective measures are monitored and enforced. Second, it reminds us of the vulnerability of individuals in social situations and the importance of maintaining awareness of personal safety. While the victim was in no way responsible for what happened to her, her experience serves as a warning about accepting rides from people we don't know well, even if they seem familiar. Legitimate taxi services might be expensive, but they're regulated for a reason. Every licensed taxi driver in London undergoes rigorous background checks. Their vehicles are tracked. Their identities are verified. When someone offers you a ride for half the price, ask yourself, why are they willing to lose money to drive a stranger home? And lastly, trust your instincts. If someone claims to know you, but you can't place them, be suspicious. Predators count on our natural politeness, our unwillingness to seem rude. But being polite isn't worth risking your life. Predators don't always look dangerous. This guy appeared helpful, friendly, and normal. He used this appearance to his advantage. This is a lesson that the most dangerous predators are often the ones who seem the most harmless. I can't overstate the role of CCTV and other security measures in bringing perpetrators to justice. Without this crucial evidence, the case might have been much harder to prove. To the brave survivor of this assault, your courage in coming forward has not only brought your attacker to justice, but may have prevented future attacks on other women. While we know that no prison sentence can undo the trauma you've experienced, we hope that knowing your attacker is behind bars brings you some measure of peace. To my viewers, please remember to stay vigilant and look out for people around you. Simple safety measures can make a difference. Always have a reliable plan for getting home. Be wary of accepting rides from people you don't know well. Keep track of your drinks and watch out for your friends. Trust your instincts if something doesn't feel right. Save emergency numbers in your phone. Share your location with trusted friends when going out. This is True Crime Stories 24/7, bringing you stories that matter and lessons that could save lives. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Remember to like, share, and comment below. Your engagement helps us reach more people with these important stories. Thanks for watching. God bless you.